Hi, everyone. This is Tom Parmalee, the founder of funeralvision.com, and I'm joined here today by Erin Creger, the Chief Sales Officer at Envision Strategic Partners. Thanks so much for joining me, Erin.
Thank you, Tom. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
First, today we're really going to discuss the ICCFA Convention, which is really just around the corner. But before we get to that, why don't you share with everyone a little bit about your background and how did you get into the funeral profession in the first place?
Thanks for asking. It's one of my favorite stories to tell. So I just recently, at the end of last year, celebrated my 10-year anniversary in the funeral profession. And if you would have asked me 10 years and 6 months ago, if I ever thought this would be something I'm doing, I would have laughed. So I actually came from home improvement, but I've been in sales my whole life. I started at 18. I love sales, the science behind it, the art behind it, but I also really enjoyed working and serving the older population. I volunteered in nursing homes in high school and just always I gravitated in that direction. And so when my grandfather passed away unexpectedly, about 2 years later, my grandmother, who I was very close with, decided to make her pre-arrangements with a local funeral home here in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is where I still reside. And I didn't know any of this. All I know is I got a call at about 7:30 one morning, and I would go visit her frequently. But she said, Erin, I need you to come by today because I woke up in the middle of the night and I know what you're supposed to do with the rest of your life. So I joke that I asked her what medications had been changed and did she sleep okay? And she laughed and she's like, just come over. So I was at a place in my life where I was going through a bit of a transition with career and other personal things. And so she said, well, I sat down with this lady and I pre-planned everything, my casket, my flowers, my program. I picked the brightest pink casket I could find. I mean, we're kind of giggling about it, but she said, and this lady made it so easy. And I don't know what she does and I don't know anything about it, but I just feel like you should meet her. So I ended up tracking that lady down. I said, listen, you sold my grandma something. I don't know anything about it, but she said, I need to meet you. And I learned a little bit about what she does and that this was even a thing. And so I ended up tracking her boss down. And after a few months I joked that I was either going to get a job or a stalking injunction, he finally called me back. And I was hired at Larkin Mortuary and Cemeteries in Salt Lake City. So the gal who sold my grandmother a pre-plan, her name is Tacey Vogel, who many people are familiar with. We're good friends to this day. And her boss was West Folger, who is now my partner here at Envision Strategic Partners. So it's funny how it all came about, but I just wanted to learn everything from the beginning. I sold cemetery and funeral and just fell in love with the profession. Quickly moved into training and managing. And then when Envision started 8 years ago, was very excited with the opportunity to be able to work with other funeral homes and cemeteries across the country.
And so how did you first get involved with the ICCFA and how does that contribute to your professional growth as a death care professional?
Yes, so I have been part of the ICCFA. I've had the honor of being a part of this organization almost, I think about a year after I started. I was able to take a seat on the sales and marketing committee for what was then the wide world of sales and is now known as Dead Talks. So I have sat on that committee with some incredible people and just fell in love with everything about it, because as you know, when you come into this profession, we tend to get siloed. You're either a funeral director or you're a vendor or you're pre-need. And it really opened my eyes to all of the incredible opportunities educationally and networking. And ICCFA does a beautiful job of bringing those people together. So that's how I initially got started with them. I still sit on that committee. I love Dead Talks and have been with them almost since I started.
Now the convention, it's really right around the corner, April 10th to April 13th in Tampa Bay.
Yes.
So what role are you playing in the convention this year?
Well, I have the distinct honor of serving as the co-chair for this year's annual convention with Micah Singerman. And we have had so much fun this past year. I can't believe it's only about 2 months away, but we are just really loving being a part of this, having some input on the event itself, getting to reach out to people for sponsorship to really help support the event so it can be the best event it can be. And many people watching this maybe have heard from me asking for support, and I want to thank so many of them who have so graciously been willing to support this convention and the ICCFA as a whole.
What about the location? Have you been to Tampa Bay often? What do you like about the location this year?
Tom, I have never been to Tampa. Can you believe it?
That's amazing because I know you do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, so I am so excited. I've been to other places within Florida, and I have some very good friends who are from Tampa, and I've heard incredible things. So last year's convention was wonderful in Kansas City, but Tampa, are you kidding? Like, get to Tampa. I am so excited, and I'm excited to be there with people who know what to do so they can tell me all the cool spots.
Now, I know the ICCFA is always known for having so many vendors and suppliers on the exhibit floor. What are you looking forward to about the exhibit floor and, some of the ancillary activities, I guess, surrounding the convention this year?
The exhibit floor, I just have to, if I'm just totally honest, I'm such a nerd with this. I love people. I love the art of getting to know people and networking. The exhibit floor is my favorite because it gives us a space where we can, in a more approachable way, get to know new people, whether we learn about their booth or their offerings. Every year there is something new and exciting, whether it's new technology or a new vendor or just new people. And so I always make a point, I pack my comfy shoes and I make sure to have a day that I get to just walk the floor and meet some new people, catch up with old friends. It's my favorite part of the whole week.
What about the speakers this year? I know there are so many speakers all the time that share such a wealth of knowledge. Are there any speakers that you want to single out that you're looking particularly forward to seeing?
Yeah, so there are a few. So Tiffany Kellogg, who joined us actually in Vegas at Dead Talk, she is incredible. She talks about the platinum rule, has such a great message. She'll be there. Sean Aker, I believe it's Achor, but he has a book called The Happiness Advantage and is a researcher on happiness and how much of it, the nature versus nurture, but what we can control. He has an incredible message I'm really looking forward to. But my favorite, I don't know if I should admit this or not, but it's one of the comedians. It's Josh Blue, and he was on America's Got Talent. I actually watched him when he was coming up on TV. He is incredible. A lot of people probably know him, but kudos to whoever secured him with ICCFA, because that's a big one. I'm very excited for him.
And if people want to attend or if people are interested in sponsoring the convention, I suppose there's information on the website.
You got it. There is information on the website. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can find me on LinkedIn, Erin Creger, Creger with Envision, but you can message me. There are still some incredible sponsorship opportunities available. Registration is open and early bird registration pricing ends March 1st. So keeping that just on everyone's top of mind, but it's all very reasonably priced, especially for everything you get from this event. It's an incredible week of learning, of networking, of connection. It's going to be a great event.
Well, there you have it. Just a few more weeks for the early bird, and reach out to Erin if you have any questions. Erin, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Tom. It was a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, take care.